Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Finley and I teach high school health. So I'll be discussing the HG&D curriculum at the high school level. Primarily I teach freshmen and sophomores at the high school. For the most part, we use the My Sexual Health, My Future curriculum at the high school. I do supplement the program with another curriculum I have at the high school that I use, and it talks about this curriculum. We'll talk about human reproduction, sexuality and responsibility, STDs and HIV. With a video there, straight talk, the truth about STDs, pregnancy prevention, adulthood and marriage, pregnancy and birth, and then parenting. With the video called Parenthood, Are You Prepared? But for the most part, we go right through the My Sexual Health, My Future curriculum, which I think is really good. First activity we do start with in the Human Growth and Development unit are basically covering lots of different terms. So we have sex, gender, sexuality. We'll put these on the boards and have groups discuss them, how they're similar, how they're different. We have a few other terms we'll break down as well: gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, biological sex, and intimacy. And then we have a sexuality carousel game that I'll have when we're in the classroom. These terms: biology, feelings, behavior, identity, and society, written on poster boards around the classroom, posted up around the classroom. And then I'll have 5 groups, and each group will spend some time with these. I believe they're 42 terms, if I remember, on each term, and then I'll rotate them, and they can see where they put these terms under these headers, and then we'll have a great discussion on it. And this will last generally about a class and a half. From there, we go into lesson 2, which would be your love language. Kids will take their own personal love language quiz, if you will, and then kind of discuss what words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch would mean as a love language. And that will get us into some I messages in communication as well. The communication piece will lead us into consent, our discussion on consent. It's as simple as T. We'll watch that short YouTube video, discuss consent. We'll have some different scenarios that we'll go over with the class on consent, not consent, and again have some more scenarios with I statements as well. We then get into the reproductive anatomy with the students and follow that up with the human sexual response and reproduction, and then the sexual response cycle. As you can see, we'll go through the charts here with the students on the cycles. From there, we get into STI or STD prevention with the students. That will take up at least one class as we cover everything, and we often have some discussions and some questions that will come about. Talk about getting yourself tested and the importance of that and not waiting. And we'll get into some HIV video on HIV, the stigma that goes along with STDs. We do obviously talk about abstinence, but if you're going to engage in sexual activities, the importance of using condoms to protect yourself from STDs. We'll show a YouTube video here on how to use a condom, which is really a gentleman putting a sock on his foot, with all the verbiage you'd use for showing someone how to use a condom. And we'll play a little activity called Anytown Cards with students doing some role playing. From there, we'll talk about pregnancy and childbirth, accessing accurate, credible information, importance of that. We'll go over the cost of a baby, pregnancy options, We get into some handout pregnancy scenarios with the students. And they have a little worksheet to go with those. And we cover shaken baby syndrome during this unit as well, lesson. And then we will talk about contraceptives and the different options, their effectiveness, their price, where you can get them. Obviously, with abstinence being the only 100% effective for preventing STDs and pregnancies. Then we get into lifelong sexual health. The purpose being exploring the health consequences of different choices. We'll have students working in small groups with different stories that we'll analyze as a class after the groups work on them, have a good discussion with them. So for the most part, that's the HG&D curriculum at the high school right now. You can look at the curriculum linked if you want to get into these units in more depth, as obviously I was flying through them pretty quickly. Thank you for all your time that you guys are putting in on this committee. I'm hoping I can make it to the meeting in January to help answer some questions. If not, please email. Otherwise, we'll find another way that I can join a meeting and answer questions that you might have. Take care.